What's up? Welcome into your Buckeye Rush Hour for a Friday, October 13th, 2023. It is Friday the 13th. That's why I have to go to a lesbian beach wedding, because it's Friday the 13th. Just hit me. Anyway, you're welcome, YouTube. Eat it. All right. Today we're talking red shirts. I got you a red shirt alert, and we're talking about beating the Boilers. Right off the bat, though, make sure you get your scores in the chat for tomorrow's Purdue game. And first, I wanted to show you something. It's a big something, but you're going to need one of these this season for sure. So check it out. Hit the BuckeyeCast.com. Everything is on sale. Got your Beat Michigan shirt. You need to order that at least a week in advance. I would give closer to 10 days, depending on where you live. If the farther out in the sticks you are, the longer it's going to take to get there. But you're probably aware of that. So we got all kinds of Beat Michigan t-shirts. I've got an entire section of Beat Michigan shit. So check that out. You got Beat Sparty. Not going to be a difficult task this year, but the shirt's cool. So check that out. And this is another, don't give a damn for the whole state of Michigan. Check that out. And you always got to have Ohio against the world shirts, right? So check it out, thebuckeyecast.com. That's my hard sales pitch for the day. So let's get into it here. Red shirts. First, we have some recruiting ranking updates. The new #1 player in the country in the 2024 class is none other than Ohio State commit wide receiver Jeremiah Smith. He moved up from #2 to #1. Defensive tackle Justin Scott, he moved up to #7 from 21. So that 5-star is just getting shinier. DN Edric Houston moved up from 28 to 25. A couple little spots up. He did have a few guys that dropped a few spots, but nothing crazy drastic in my opinion. Mylan Graham is still a 5-star, but he moved from 18 to 26. Aaron Scott, 34 to 38. And Aaron Nolan, 56 to 39. Oh, now he's at 56 from 39. And Jeremiah McClellan is from 91, now 70. So some of the Buckeye targets that we're going after this cycle, according to the top 24/7 rankings. Offensive tackle Jordan Seaton is now #30. Defensive end / edge Amaris Williams is now 45. Wide receiver Chance Robinson is coming in at 165. And the edge that we just offered recently, Deshaun Warner, is now a 4-star and 173rd ranked recruit. So quite a leap for him. So let's get into some of our red shirts we're going to talk about here. Now, let's start off with guys that are not freshmen. Then we'll circle back to the true freshmen that are on red shirt alert. #1, and Ryan Day talked about this in his press conference the other day. He was asked, flat out, is Dallin Hayden going to redshirt? And it looks that way, barring another catastrophe in that running back room. It looks like Dallin Hayden is going to redshirt this year. Then you got Lorenzo Styles, the transfer in from Notre Dame, junior, of course, obviously. And he's making that transition from receiver to corner. So not a surprise there. He's going to need some time. He has played a little special teams, but he's going to need some time to readjust to the secondary. Then you got the corner, Jair Brown. Haven't seen much of him at all, honestly. And he played quite a bit last year. But so far, he's only played in 2 games and had 11 snaps in both of those. So he's got 22 snaps on the year, but has 3 did not plays, So keep an eye on him. Kai Stokes is another one, the safety. He is, where is he? Wait, Kai Stokes. I don't think he's played at all. Yeah, I don't think he's played at all. I don't see him in the snap counts. That's surprising. No. I don't know what's going on with Kai Stokes. We thought he was going to be part of the secondary. You know, he played well in the spring game last year, didn't take a red shirt last year, played in 9 games as a true freshman. So hasn't seen the field once, not even special teams. Wow. Okay. So I'd say that's a big yes. Probably a red shirt. And then wide receiver Kojo Antwi. We've seen him a little bit, but he's definitely a redshirt candidate. Checking his snaps here. Yeah, he has 4 games he did not play, and 2 he played in special teams. So he's got 2 more to burn there. So I could easily see him, you know, taking a red shirt. Wouldn't be surprised if he transferred out after this season either. But anyway, now let's look at some of the true freshmen. And we'll look at some of the snaps they've gotten over this season and try and track somebody down here. Let's talk about Noah Rogers. He has not played in 3 games. He has 3 snaps and 5 snaps in the other 2 games. Brandon Ennis, I think he's definitely not a redshirt candidate because he just has 1 game he didn't play in. That was against Notre Dame. He's played special teams in 2 games and then took wide receiver snaps in 2 others. So I'd say Ennis is definitely not a red shirt. Scrolling down here to Jelani Thurman. This one is kind of surprising to me, especially because we haven't seen much of Joe Royer, you know. So Jelani, anyway, he has 4 games he hasn't played in and just took tight end snaps in 1 game. So hasn't even played special teams at all. So that might be a redshirt candidate. Definitely not Luke Montgomery, not Tegra, not Vamahi Maholski. No, he's played in every game, mostly special teams. Vic Cutler is a possibility. He has played 1 game, 9 snaps, and then special teams in another, but he has 3 did not plays. Jacob James, no. George Fitzpatrick, outside shot here. He has 1 snap on the year and 4 games he didn't play in. So I would keep my eyes on him. Rolling down to the defense here, Amari Abor is an interesting situation. We thought before the season there that he had a serious knee injury, right? We saw him out there with this monster big black knee brace in the games. He played in 2 games, has 8 snaps total, but has 3 did not play. So we'll see how that works going forward if they need to utilize some depth there at the DN position. But I think Curry and Kenyatta are doing fine backing up Jack and JT. I don't know if you need a 5th DN. We'll see. Down in the middle, Hero has played in every game. Tywan Malone has played in 3. Caden McDonald, he's definitely a redshirt candidate here. Played 4 snaps in 1 game, the big D tackle. And Jason Moore, the other big D tackle, he's played in 4 games, just 3 snaps in 1 game. Reed Carrico only playing special teams. Gabe Powers, only special teams. Arvell Reese, he's a tough one because he has 3 did not plays, but 2 on special teams. So 2 games he did play special teams. That would be an interesting one. I don't think we really need him, so I wouldn't be surprised if he redshirts. We got plenty of linebackers, obviously. We mentioned Lorenzo. Now Jihad Carter's played in almost every game. Hartford has played a lot-ish, 48 snaps. Cam Martinez has 2 games he didn't play at all. I doubt he's going to take a red shirt, though. Probably already has. Anyways, let's pop in the chat, see what's happening early on a Friday. PC, you are the only one there. I didn't expect to have a great turnout. But PC is first and only, it looks like. Will weather be an issue against Purdue? That's a good question. Purdue weather. Let's check it out together. Okay, tomorrow. I've got a chance of precipitation at 50%, 84% humidity, 17-mile-an-hour winds. Looks like a high of 57. So low of 43. It's a noon kick, so it's probably going to be closer to 50s. 17-mile-an-hour winds isn't terrible. You know, it really depends on that rain. You know, if you got rain and the wind constantly for 3 hours, then yes, weather will be a definite factor. But I think Kyle can definitely throw it in 17-mile-an-hour winds. You know, it's not 30 or something. He's got a strong enough arm. The ankle, Kyle's ankle is a bigger concern to me, the left ankle. He was asked about it Wednesday night with interviews in the media, and he said it's fine, but that's what he's going to say. But it's both ankles are heavily taped, probably to throw the defense off the scent, you know, so that they wouldn't yank on the wrong one. But yeah, we'll see about that. I don't think weather's going to be much of a problem. I think it's going to hurt Purdue more than us, honestly, because I think the Buckeyes are going to try and get that running game in order, probably heavy pounding of the running game early, try and get some of these kinks worked out along the O-line. And the running backs got to hit that crease when it's there, no matter how big or small it is. That's what she said. Hey, and I think you're going to see a heavy focus on ball control, running the ball, and probably not too many deep shots at all. So, but I think Kyle will be fine. Glass of water. We're going to try and keep this at a tight 30 minutes today. So hopefully somebody else will pop in soon. And PC, what else is on your mind? Keeping an eye. We will take a call or two. Oh, I had a picture of Kyle's ankles. Now, it's very riveting stuff, right? Here we go. So the injury took place against Notre Dame. Let me share this. So that's the heavy tape job. You can see it on his left. It's the same on his right ankle. This was in the Maryland game. So hopefully it's not too serious. But, hey, hold up, PC. I got to put my headphones in. PC's on the phone. Connect them. Okay, let's go to PC. Caller on line 1. PC, are you there?
Hey, Joe. What's going on, man?
How you doing?
Doing pretty good. Love is in the air. You amped up for the wedding?
Oh, I can smell it.
Hey, easy. Easy now. Right on.
Yeah.
Well, hey, over unders what? 2 or 3? I don't know.
2.5. Yeah. I think you nailed it.
Something
like
every
that. 10 years, you know.
Well, anyway, no, I appreciate the recruiting ranking update. I knew we were still sitting pretty good, but it's good to see us up there on your update that you put out. It's what, number 2, not so not surprising about the number 1 in the country. Just real quick, man, I want to get my score in. Okay. 54-10 Buckeyes.
High scoring affair.
Well, there's a lot of things going on there, but I think it's probably going to be about as perfect a game as we're gonna get, or as we can expect. Um, the weather, yeah, that's a concern, I think, a little bit. But in all reality, we're going to be hitting November before we know it, and that's when the weather is really going to kick in. So,
Yeah.
but for this game, I see Purdue's pretty banged up. They got quite a few starters that are out.
Yep.
I
And
guess.
Hudson Card's a little banged up too.
Oh, okay. I hadn't heard that, but yeah, I heard about their, I think it's their right offensive tackle spot. Like,
Yep.
that's supposed to be a sieve.
Yep. Exactly.
So I'm so on that one, multiple sacks, multiple interceptions. It's kind of how I'm seeing that play out. So no concerns at all on the defense. Although I appreciate I think it was maybe yesterday's morning blitz where you put out about Steel Chambers. I didn't realize how low he'd played or how poorly he'd played in that Maryland game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kinda,
it's kind of concerning.
yeah. I mean, watching it, I didn't really notice. So I guess maybe that's good. But the guys at PFF, they're keeping track of all that. But yeah, no, I didn't realize that. So that for sure, kind of stokes the fire a little bit. Um, and gets people talking about CJ Hicks.
Very much so, especially when Jim Knowles the other day said, he is ready. CJ Hicks is ready. So, yeah,
right.
Opens the door.
So, Cody Simon, I know they've been putting him in. He's done a pretty good job, but he's relief. But I would like to see Hicks in there. For whatever reason, they haven't pushed him out a whole lot, but I'd just like to see what the kid can do. Now, the bad thing is it would be against Purdue, so you're not really getting a good gauge of the kid on exactly how well he can play against good competition. But it'd be good to see him out there and get him those reps. You got to start somewhere, I suppose.
Yeah, I agree.
Here's the big one. You need to bring the juice, man.
Yeah.
I don't know, and kind of moving over to offense now, but I don't know if there's an offensive player that can bring the juice, or not one hasn't stepped up thus far in this season. I really want to see that, man. You got to have the guy, the baller with the attitude and all this and that to get everybody up for this stuff, because these freaking these games coming out flat, like, that's for the birds, man. We can't do that shit. We just can't. You got to get these guys up. You got to get them motivated. Now next week against Penn State in the shoe, that's not going to be a factor. That's not going to be hard to get guys up for that. That's a big one, and it's at home.
Yep.
But I don't like these road games where they come out just kind of sleepy.
Well, we saw it at home last week.
Well, yeah. See, so I mean, that was at home.
Yep.
So maybe it's the early start time. Maybe these guys don't wake up till around noon. So
there you go.
But no, I'm seeing a big game on defense. Offense, I think it'll probably be about as good as it can be. 54. I don't think that's unreasonable at all. What I don't want to see is mid to low 30s. That's what I don't want to see. I don't think Purdue's going to be able to score much, but I don't want to see mid to low 30s. Like that's going to tell me that there's significant issues there, and that's going to carry forward.
Yeah.
So my hope is that they do show out a lot. You put out this morning, run the ball. That's a for sure. We got to get our running game back, man. And I think everything stems from the O-line. If those guys don't get their act together, then we're going to have a hard go at it for the rest of the season. You know, I know McCord on his own has his issues. You know, he's still fairly new. Has he has some accuracy issues, some decision making issues. But if you throw in there, pressure, put on the O line, and they're getting through, that's even worse. That just compounds it. So, a perfect game by those guys, that would be fantastic. I'm not seeing that though, because we've already baked in. We've already baked in the penalty from Simmons. So
the obligatory.
That's a get auto penalty. Just start off the game
just
with
like DeJuan Jones last year.
Yeah, but he worked out. So but man, that O line, they got to make these holes. They got to give these running backs space. Sounds like Trey's going to be back, and that's awesome. I really like to see him in space. Do not run him into the boundary, please.
Yeah, it's going to happen. You know it.
I know it is, and it sounds funny because they're like they keep doing it, saying, "Hey, one of these days, we're not going to run into the boundary. We're going to run into the grass, into the open field." But they always run in the boundary. So I don't know. Maybe they're setting Penn State or the team up north up on that one. I don't know, but
it's the ultimate long play, right?
Yeah, save it till freaking the last game in November.
Been working on this for 11 weeks.
Couple years, I think.
Yeah, I'm looking at to your point on the edge rushers. I mean, on the O line, these edge rushers for Purdue are legit, man. Number 4 and number 5 are DNs. They are the team leaders in pressures, and this team as a whole averages 3 sacks a game. So number 4 has a total of 30 pressures on the year and 5 sacks just by himself. A few hits on the quarterback, and then number 5 right behind him with 20 pressures and a couple of sacks. So these guys are going to get after the quarterback.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's great. It is a bit weird, being a Buckeye fan and kind of leaning a little bit more into the defense because the offensive firepower hasn't been there really like the last couple of years, but it feels awkward. But heck, man, works for Iowa, right? So no, I'm all for it. I think our offense is it'll pick up. Just need to clean up that O-line play. Now, Ibuka is going to be out, so X-Man, he's going to be in there. They'll probably, I could see them moving. Heck, even moving Marv to the slot and putting Tate in.
Occasionally, I could see that.
I could see that totally. Which, those are all great options. I think we really need to lean into that, into the best. I don't know, the best position group that we have, and that is the receiver. So, just pour it on, give it to those guys. They can do it. It'd be great to see Ennis get in there too. I'd like to see that. And
I was just going to say that. Yeah,
I don't. I've never been high on. I've never been high on having Ibuka back there returning kicks. I don't like that.
Or the injury risk.
Yeah, save the guy a little bit. Fewer tackles or whatever. I mean, that's
He hasn't done anything
that's a
with it
big deal.
anyways, right? So what's the difference? I
Yeah,
mean, what's it hurt to put somebody else back there?
true. I mean, if we're not gonna run it, but it's funny because Purdue did.
Right.
Like we would fair catch balls that are and there's not a gunner, within 10, 15 yards, and then Purdue catches catches a punt and tries to bring it out, or a guy breathing down his neck. So
Yeah.
shoot, man, just bring it back. You
Yeah.
know, one thing is for sure, we're never going to return a punt or a kickoff if all we do is fair catch. 100%.
Yeah. Oh, that's
That will
guaranteed.
that will never happen. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
I'm a master of the obvious.
There you
So
go. And good at
yeah,
math.
bring it. You got to bring it out. So,
Right.
but anyway, see what else. Do I have anything else here? Nope. That's all I got, man.
All right. I got questions for you then.
Yeah, fire
If
away.
you got a minute.
Okay.
What
For
kind
you,
of
Joe, I got 2 minutes. No, I'm just
oh,
kidding.
thanks. All right.
Take your time.
What kind of balance on offense do you see from a yardage standpoint? You think they go heavy run? You see, or do you see a split like Ryan Day always tries to get 350 through the air, 200 on the ground? That's what he considers balance. A little bit different than the Urban Meyer days, but what do you think? How do you see those numbers fluctuating?
I mean, yardage wise, yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, it's a good goal. Um, it all depends on if we're able to get the push up front to get those yards on the ground. But like yardage wise, I I like the balance of 50-50%. 50%
Yeah,
run, 50% pass. But we're talking plays, number of plays, not yardage,
yeah,
because obviously pass will go for more yardage.
yeah.
But I it is strange. We tend to use the passing game to open up the running game, which is a little bit different than most other
Mhm.
teams. They use a running game to open up the pass game.
Right.
Um, so yeah, I think our air raid is more of the default. So yardage wise, yeah, that sounds about right. Except
All
for
right.
the sometime. What do we have against Purdue? It was like 60 something yards on the ground. I mean, or
Mm.
not Purdue. Sorry,
Yeah, Maryland.
Maryland. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I mean, that's unsat, man. I mean, I'd say anything below 150 on the ground uh, is or maybe 130, but I'd put the suck line at like 150.
yeah.
Like
I think, yeah,
you need to
I
move
think
it.
if we're below that, if we're below your 150 line, that tells me that things are not fixed up front.
Yeah, yeah,
Number one.
I agree with that. Yeah, it's real weird. Tranum, he does well, in kind of the short yardage stuff, um, but the big one, I mean, we know Trey can bring it, but it's
Mhm.
it's a matter of how many of these 2, 3, 1 yarders do we have to go till we get a 60 yarder? That's
Exactly.
that's kind of the waiting game. You're waiting for it. It's going to happen,
Mhm.
but at what point? Do we get wrapped around the axle with the quote unquote schedule?
Yeah.
I think screw the schedule, man. Um, Sling it, especially early on, because we've seen we've seen the offense tighten up and bring a little bit more come in through the clutch a little bit more later in the game when they need to. But
Right.
in the beginning, let's just start tempo and sling it. Um, I think it'll work out. We got the receivers to do it. Um, there's just, you get into, you start, 3 yards in a cloud of dust, like
Yeah.
you can very easily get behind schedule on that, and then panic mode starts to set in and all that.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the way to go. I say you come out guns blazing, just let her rip, and and once they're used to getting smoked over top, or on the inside or underneath, wherever, like that's what they'll anticipate, and that'll open up the run game, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, I got one more quick one for you. This is
Yeah.
kind of a philosophical question. I've been thinking about this all week. Because I don't have anything else to do, just think about Ohio State football. What do you think of Chip and Mayan used on first and second down, and only using Trey on third?
I mean, my view, that would be like way too predictable. But I see your point. I think the problem is they're kind of pulling some stuff where they would, instead of like the normal progression would be, you throw it on first down, or you run it on first down and then you throw it on second down, depending on whatever the yardage is, right? But it seems like they've kind of gotten away from that anyway. So, so what you're talking about would be kind of that scenario where we'll just run it, see what we get for the first down, try and make our lives easier, and then we'll sling it. I don't think any kind of a scenario like that where you're doing the same type of a thing like that is a good idea.
Right.
I would
Right.
like to see more pop passes, jet sweeps. And if you want to do that in like first down, I could see it. Definitely don't do your sweep on third and long. That's
Or fourth and one.
or fourth and one. So yeah, I mean, I liked, to your point, I do like those two guys, Mayan and Chip, for the short yardage.
Okay.
But I don't think you need to start off a drive looking for short yardage. If it ends up like that, I mean, they probably do that because they haven't been successful in the short yardage game, so they don't want to have to try and go to that on third and 2 or third and 3 or whatever. They probably don't want to risk it. So I see why they would probably do that, but if you rip off 8 yards, 7 yards in the first down, you get second and more than manageable in my view. Then you can do it. But Trey, I mean, he can just go off at any time. I mean, we've seen it over the last couple of years. I mean, first, second, third down, it doesn't matter. The guy can break it at any point. So it just depends on the play, boundary or not, things like that. I could see Trey. I could see Trey in third down for sure. But I don't think it would hurt. Even running him in second down, 2nd and 5 or something like that. But either one of those, either one of the three, I think, are more than capable of getting it. We talk about Mayan like he's a bowling ball and all he could do is just get short yardage. But I mean, that guy's got hands too. He caught a couple passes. I remember there's one in the Indiana game. I remember it was a pretty good pass.
He loves those wheel routes down the sideline.
Yeah. So I mean, Mayan's good at that. So I don't know, man. I would just say whatever is not predictable, do that. So
I like that.
But you got to be, you can't come and throw 3 times, 3 and out, 3 incompletions. I mean, the accuracy has to be there. What I would really like to see is are some of these deep balls by McCord.
Hmm.
He generally doesn't do that a whole lot,
Yeah.
and maybe it's because his confidence in his accuracy, but
Yeah.
but I think a few quick, slants or whatever, and then you can smoke them over the top. I mean, we've seen Marv just cook corners and safeties. He'll split the safeties too.
Yeah.
So let him run. Just throw it out there. Let Marv run under the ball. Don't underthrow it, because
Yeah.
Marv could have had TD last game. So
Right.
on that one pass, but yeah, I think Marv's out there. He's gonna get it.
Hmm.
This underneath stuff is okay, short yardage, but yeah, don't be afraid to fire away, I think.
Yeah. I agree with that. Definitely.
So, well,
Yeah.
I'd like to see see McCord's accuracy improve, and his decision making. It seems like it's weird. It's like at some points it's check down Charlie. He'll like go through his entire progression and then go back to the first one, and like
Yeah.
can't make a decision. It takes too long. But at some points he'll 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 sling it to the first guy that he sees, and meanwhile Fleming is off to the right and completely uncovered, or Stover.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not a quarterback. There's no way I could do it, but you think there's got to be a way to kind of quickly narrow down your options,
Yeah.
recognize maybe pre-snap, I suppose, by the look, but
Yeah.
we our defense tries to do a real good job about mixing up pre-snap and post-snap. So
Right.
I mean, you're going to get fooled eventually, but yeah,
Mhm.
I've seen on multiple occasions, Fleming and Stover wide open, nobody around. Even the
Yeah.
relief, the running back, when they run out there for that swing,
Hmm.
that release valve or whatever,
Sure. Yeah.
like those guys are open. They're out there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. He's got to either get through the progressions faster, or uh, make a decision faster. If you're going to pull it down and go, then just do it. Once you get through your progressions, once you can't start looking around again and again, and running back through your progressions. I think, need to make faster decisions.
yeah, it doesn't mean you need to act faster, but at least see the guys and what the coverage is developing like. I,
Yep.
I don't know. It's a tough one, but I, I know McCord has it in him. He's got the ability.
Hmm.
I still think he's still building confidence. First couple of games of the year, he was basically playing half of the game, and it was up in
Yep.
the air if he was going to be the guy or not.
Right.
Well, guess what? He is, and he proved his mettle in Notre Dame. I think.
Hmm. Definitely.
Let's roll with it if that's what it is. But got to
Yeah.
get the juice, man. He's so low key that I think it works against us a little bit. I mean, he's cool, calm, and collected, but at the same time, that doesn't generate a whole lot of juice. And I think the juice is really what Devin Brown brought to the game. He does have juice, and he does get guys fired up.
Yeah.
So
Kyle has it in the locker room. You don't see it so much on the sidelines, though, or obviously in the game. And when he's on the field, it seems like he turns the emotion off almost.
yeah, and I can get that. That's you kind of have to do that, but not at the expense of coming out flat. You don't want to
Right.
you don't want that. I guess it's maybe in the locker room he needs to be super fired up, before
Yeah.
the game and at halftime or whatever. But I mean, I'm not in there. I don't know what it looks like, but I think I think that's probably the biggest thing, because quarterback's the captain of the team, right? He's the leader of the team, so he's got to get these guys up. So up north, we'll see how that pans out. They got a really good team, probably the best that they've had in a long time.
Yeah,
which does not make me feel good, but if these guys get a good plan together, learn from their mistakes, get pumped, they can come out and they can come out on top in Ann Arbor, I think. So,
yeah,
and everything seems to always come back around to the team up north.
sure,
It's just kind of the way it is, I guess. But
yeah, we don't lose too many regular season games.
no, we don't. And under day, we haven't lost a game that we're not supposed to. The big games, the hard games, the tough games on the road or whatever. Like, I don't know, that Oregon game. Whenever that.
Yeah, that was squarely on the defense that day.
Yeah, but pretty much under day, we haven't walked into Iowa City or anywhere and lost a game. We're like, what the heck was that? How did we do?
Right.
So I think this game will be a real good tune up. It'll be more about us than about them. So
yeah,
I think we still have some things to figure out, but I'm pumped up for the Penn State game. That's going to be a real good one.
Already 5.5-point favorites for that game. The Buckeyes are.
There you go.
Yeah.
So -3 because we're at home. So 2. Yeah. That's tight, man.
Yep, about a field goal. So that's going to be a good one. And it's a Scarlet out at noon. So get excited for another nooner.
It just sounds weird. Scarlet out at noon.
Yeah, I know.
That would have been a good night game, I think.
Yeah, I don't know why they took that off the night schedule. Ohio State should play Penn State at night only,
Yeah.
I don't care where it's at.
Yeah, well, when you go to happy, not so happy Valley sometimes, it's a little bit scary,
Right. But it's a great atmosphere.
Yeah, no, I've heard that. Except for the damn lion roaring every 30 seconds.
That is annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Joe. I'll let you go, man. Go get dressed for your wedding.
Thank you. Is it too early to start drinking?
Well, it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Exactly. No truer words have been spoken, PC. I appreciate you popping in. And I think with that, folks, we appreciate PC. Thank you, sir.
No, I appreciate everything you do, man. Keep up the great work, and I'll talk to you next week.
Sounds good. I'm about to get out of here myself. Take care, man.
You got my score 54-10, right?
Got it down. Yep.
Book it.
I'm going to run through the scores here in a sec, but appreciate you.
All right, man. Talk to you later.
Later. All right, folks. Don't forget to get your scores in for the Purdue game. You can leave them in the comments under this video after I go off air. I got Billy Tuesday in at 42-13. Don Warwick at 41-10, Jeremiah Yoder 47-6, Johnny C 37-13, and PC just dropped in with 54-10. So get your scores in, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. I'll have instant reaction right after the game. So be on the lookout. Make sure you're subscribed, and don't forget to hit the like button, por favor. Thank you very much. Talk to you later. Go Bucks.